Hello, everybody. How are you guys doing? Welcome to another episode of Tech Support Live. This is your weekly Friday show to pretty much get all your questions answered. If you got any questions about your home network, if you got any questions about which system should I upgrade to, we are your support experts for the next hour. And just a disclosure, this is going on for
Hello,
an hour
everybody.
session. How are you guys doing? Welcome to another episode of... Get some echo. We are at a 1 hour session, so we do want to ensure that you guys get your questions answered. So please go ahead and start dropping it in the chat, and we'll get to them pretty much as soon as we possibly can. So if it's your first time here in the show, I'll just go ahead and introduce myself. So I'm Angelo. I'm the Senior Interactive Media Specialist here at NETGEAR. So I manage this NETGEAR YouTube channel on the daily. I manage the Twitch channel as pretty much as I possibly can here. So I'm the stream guy, kind of video guy, and your social media guy. So yeah, I mean that's kind of it for me. Ben, I would love to hand it off to you.
Yeah. Hey, everybody. This is Ben. I am the brand manager, experience manager for Nighthawk Pro Gaming. So I'm here to answer all your questions about the XR1000 and Duma 3.0. And I'm going to hand it off to Michael.
Hey everyone, I'm Michael, Technical Marketing Manager, and I'm pretty much a Swiss Army knife on products. I get to beta test a lot of products, do a lot of trade shows, so I talk about the products, and I'm here to help out with any questions you have.
I'm Darren. I'm a technical support specialist and community moderator. I'm here to help with any home networking problems that we have in the chat today.
Awesome. So I want to shout out our regulars, our happy regulars. I love being able to see some familiar names in the chat here. So we got Shady Joker as always, first in line to get your comment in. It says, "Yo, I just missed your Twitch stream of Throwback Tony Hawk." I'll tell you about the Tony Hawk stream. Yeah, so sorry, just to kind of like even give a little bit more insight here, just so you kind of know what's going on under wraps here. So we are moving to an hour-long format. This is something as we're starting to prepare for the holidays and our big launches for CES. So we do have a lot in the works. I don't want to keep you guys disappointed. I know we're cutting the time a little bit shorter, but just know there's a lot that we're working on that we hope that you guys are going to be excited here in the future. And just with that, there's a lot of craziness, and I was able to fit in a little bit of a stream. But, you know, as life always wants to throw wrenches at me, my PS4 wasn't really working right, so I loaded up Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4 instead of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2. Hopefully, you guys, if you guys go check out twitch.tv/NighthawkProGaming, you guys could go ahead and check out our streams there. We do it a little bit more laid back. If you ever just kind of just want to hang with us, you know, maybe not tech support live questions, but just kind of hang out and meet the team. Awesome. So thank you, Shady Joker. Adrian, good afternoon. Kev, hello. Dan Tuma is back. Roto Router, I believe that's the first time I've seen your name here. So welcome to the show. Ricky B. And happy Friday for Kev. Sure was a long week. Now time to chill and listen to you guys rock.
Oh, nice.
Awesome. So again, please float in your questions and we'll get to them as soon as we possibly can. Kendall Blake got his notifications on. If you got your notifications on and you hit that bell, well, one, that's going to give you notifications every time we go live here so you don't miss another show because, again, we're going to be here. If you guys are here, it kind of just helps, well, one, get you guys in the chat asking questions. If you don't have any questions to ask, you know, hopefully, you know, we're still able to provide some value to you guys. But Shady Joker does come back with the first question here. I'll toss it off to the rest of the team here. Can you use two routers off of one modem?
The answer is yes, but if he's actually looking at connecting both of the modems directly to both of the routers directly to the modem, and he wants to have two different, subnets on it, then the modem has to have two WAN ports.
Mm-hmm.
Or two LAN ports that are WAN ports for your routers. There are some modems that have that, but most of the time you're expected that you're going to have one router connected up to a modem. If it's a gateway, then you'll have a 4-port switch usually in the gateway, and then you can connect two routers up to that. But you have to worry about the double NATing because the modem is going to act as a router as well.
Mm-hmm. So I think this is actually a really, really good question here because just a follow up from Shady Joker, he's saying, I would like to see if I could use one for gaming and streaming and another for home and business. So we actually got, so just kind of NETGEAR as a company as a whole, this is actually what we're envisioning here is kind of that future of what that home office could look like. So, Michael, I know we were actually working on it a little before, a little behind the scenes here, but setting up VLANs and having the this is I guess like a use case that I think we're starting to talk about more within our company. Setting up VLANs so you could set up separate SSIDs for a home network versus a business network because again we're all working from home. You know, well, one, hopefully you do kind of get access to a VPN provided by your company, but two, being able to kind of separate that work and play. I think that's going to be a conversation going to be coming up in the next coming quarters or years. Michael, what do you think is a solution that we could say either we're working on or that you could even pick up today?
Well, that's a good question. Well, the first thing is Shady Joker looking at having basically two different IP addresses that are publicly addressable from the internet that people are coming into, and then having those two go off to two separate local networks, in which case you do need a cable modem that actually has two different WAN port connections that you can connect two routers to. And each one of those ports will have a different IP address out to the internet. But if you're just looking locally, then all you need is you just need to have a router that allows you to set VLANs, which is basically just virtual LANs. And at that point, you can create, say, a couple of VLANs from the router that would have two different IP schemes, like 192.168.1.x and 192.168.2.x. And that would create two different local networks. So anything that's talking within the local network won't actually talk to the things on the other network. And then it just comes down to which product actually allows you to do the VLANs. And Ben, do you have any suggestions on products on your side that actually allow for VLANs?
I don't. I have to take a look to see what is possible. But yeah, the being able to kind of set. I was going to say that you would, set up one using. A lot of times you can use like a guest network that if you wanted to separate it out, that's probably a quick and dirty way of doing it.
Yeah, and that's if you're using wireless. If you're just looking at a wireless separation, that's probably the easiest way is you just activate the guest network on the router if it supports it. And then for those people that are doing, say, gaming, then you'd put them on the guest network and they have a direct pipeline out to the internet. And then for your local work environment, they'd hook up to your standard 2.4 and 5 gigahertz SSIDs. So one's for wired, the other one's for wireless. The wireless one's the much easier because then you just have to have a router that has the guest network on it.
And just, I'm kind of going back and forth from the bottom of the chat here. So there's actually Orbi Pro that is a product that we actually have had for a couple of years now, which does have that kind of functionality. And I think Shady Joker, my idea here is that I believe you do have an extra 700 and you would want to keep Doom OS, so I wouldn't necessarily go ahead and recommend you a brand new product right away, but just know that this is something that we talk about as a company and has a lot of really relevant use cases, especially for today. So if you guys don't know much about Orbi Pro or Orbi Pro Wi-Fi 6, which was actually recently released, and Steel Pastor, I could probably go ahead and explain this question to because I think this is your exact question. With Orbi Pro Wi-Fi 6, this is more of a plug-and-play kind of solution where you can have those separate SSIDs. And I think that's also a requested feature, I think, coming from folks who do just have a regular Orbi line, that the regular Orbi line just has one SSID, one network name to make it super easy. So there's no 2.4, no 5 gigahertz that you really got to worry about anymore. You just got one Wi-Fi name and it blankets your Wi-Fi everywhere, and that's like the big value you could get from that product. But if you want a little bit more control, that's where Orbi Pro kind of comes in, and primarily it would be for let's say you have a cafe or maybe you have a business at home where you need these separate networks. You need one for your employees. Maybe you need one for guests. Maybe you need one for just home stuff. And Orbi Pro, at least with Orbi Pro Wi-Fi 6, the new one, will allow you to have up to 4. And I believe there is traffic management on there. Michael, I'm not sure if there's anything I kind of missed here, kind of explaining Orbi Pro Wi-Fi 6.
Yeah, and the Orbi Pro also supports the VLANs that we were talking about.
Yes. So, Shady Joker, that's kind of just like the long drawn out answer to kind of say, yeah, you technically can, but I do believe setting up VLANs will be able to kind of prevent you from getting into that double NAT situation, prevent you from getting that, I need to find a modem with 2 WAN ports on it. Takes a little bit of that complexity out, but that is a different product for you to look at. I would think that you want to keep Doom OS because I think you have a lot of heavy gamer use cases on your end.
Yeah, and the Orbi Pro Wi-Fi 6 is definitely, awesome product, but your price point is going to be higher because it's really at the level of almost a business product as opposed to the standard consumer product. So the price point is going to be a little higher.
Yeah. So, all these are great things to know. So again, I think we're going to continue answering some questions about Orbi Pro and also Wi-Fi 6. So we'll get that a little bit later on the chat. I just want to make sure I get all the comments in from the top. So Shady Joker, let us know if that answered your question. Hopefully well enough. Kendall Blake, I know I've pretty much asked this before. Ben, this is your question. Can you confirm if the Extra 1000 will be sold in Best Buy stores?
Yes.
Perfect.
Easy answer.
Availability, how is that looking like? I think maybe since last
it's when
week.
it's in stock. Usually it takes a couple weeks, 3 weeks before things get into stock. Let's see. Are they let's see, it should be on Amazon if I now.
It is on Amazon, and October 5th was the date when it was actually going to be available.
Yeah.
October. For Best Buy.
October 5th. So somewhere around there.
Or no, October 5th for Amazon. It's on
that's
Amazon
for
right now and in pre-order.
Best Buy should be soon as well.
Yeah, it's not on Best Buy yet showing up. So it'll be coming in after Amazon.
Yeah.
But the exact date we don't know until they actually populate the page.
Yep.
So just kind of drill it down for anyone who's interested in the Extra 1000. Available now, shipping now, right, Ben, from the NETGEAR online store. So highly encourage everyone to go ahead and check that out. Amazon will be coming soon, October 5th? October?
And of course, always have to show it off. There it is. That's what you want to buy. It's awesome.
It is awesome. Like I am.
Perfect. Oh no, my Amazon's popping off. I don't know if you guys could actually hear
that.
Amazon, stop. All right.
All right.
Sorry, guys. All right, let's get to the next question here. Skill Nasty, hello. Remember you from the t-shirt stream. By the way, I still have your shirts. It's in shipping limbo. I got to get all the shipping labels created. We have a decent number of shirts to give out, so they are on the way. And just so you know, when they do ship out, they go pretty quick. It's about 2-day shipping. So expect them about, if it's not next week, the week after at the latest. So thank you guys for all your patience out there. Again, for our regulars who were tuning into last week's stream, who won that shirt. I'm wearing it right now, actually. All right. Another NPG question. Abdullah, is there any router that will release strong? Okay, I think the answer or the question is there any comparable router that will be like the XR700?
Like the XR700?
Yeah.
The XR1000.
Yes.
There's the difference between, and I've tested both of them. The XR700 is a pretty powerful machine. It's got that quad core. But it really has it because it's doing lots of other things at the same time, like Plex server. Michael, you can help me out on this. It has a lot of other things that it is doing, and that's why it needs that quad core. The tri-core in the 1000 is a lot more efficient, and it just seems to be just a. I've had it for like 2 weeks. You've been testing it for about a month. It just seems like out of the gate, it's just running way faster.
Yes.
And there just hasn't been a hiccup like anything. And my tested the 700, and it is definitely beefy. You know, it will say that it will do everything that you want it to do, but you know, it just it's over engineered. It's too much car.
Yeah.
And the XR1000 actually has a much newer processor in it than
Yes.
the XR700.
Even
And
though you look at that and you're like, it's only a tri-core, you know, no, it's a newer processor. It's hell of a lot more efficient than the previous one. The processor for the 700 is at least like 2 years old. So
Yeah. The way that I could kind of imagine this is that you're gonna have two really good meals no matter what you choose, the 700 or the 1000. I think you got to decide: do you want the buffet or do you want that 3-course gourmet dinner? Right. I think the buffet is kind of like the extra 700, where it's got all the bells and whistles. It is very powerful,
And then
and it's gonna
some.
feed you. Yeah, and then it's all you could eat. You know, you get everything you want out of that. The extra 1000, it's newer, a little bit more refined, and it's Wi-Fi 6. You will get the best in terms of the new Wi-Fi 6 technology. Maybe a little bit less of the bells and whistles you would get. I mean, you know, I don't think there's Plex or the AD in the extra 1000, but newer, a little bit more gourmet, or the buffet if you want.
If you want to go with the sushi analogy, the 700 is the sushi boats. You know, it's all you can grab. Like there's more than what you're probably ever going to eat. The XR1000 is the chef choice. You know,
That's sashimi.
And you're going to get a plate of goodness either direction. So
Awesome.
Now that we've muddied the water, so let's move on.
Let's do it. All right, Abdullah. Hopefully that answered your question. Dan Tuma, you are next. Hey guys, with iOS 14, I mainly put my wife's phone on the Nighthawk 2.4 gigahertz network, and I get a privacy warning saying the network is blocking encrypted DNS traffic. Why? You know, I did think I saw a comment coming in from Christine that it may be something iOS 14 related. I just know that, you know, I upgraded my phone, and just for a little bit more context, iOS 14 is actually doing a really good job of notifying you of like when your microphone's turned on, or like it has a lot of these added privacy settings. So it may just be another notification. It might be an iOS 14 setting, but I don't know, Michael, Darren, if you guys have seen anything like that.
yeah, I haven't seen that particular error message, but that's definitely coming from iOS 14. That's not coming from our side, and it might actually just be a setting inside iOS 14 that they can change.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Dan, you got any thoughts on that one?
No, not really an Apple user, so I don't really know what's going on there.
Yeah, I would say that, but let's say ultimately the network is blocking encrypted DNS traffic. That's a good thing. Just want to make sure I get that one right. Like, there's nothing to worry about. I would say at least for Dan to see this notification is blocking encrypted DNS traffic, that's nothing to worry about.
No, it shouldn't cause a problem with him actually being able to connect to things. But I did look up the DNS resolver selection in iOS 14, and it looks like that is something new that they have. So you might want to actually look into that a little bit more and see if there isn't a setting within iOS 14 that he can turn off. I'm guessing they might be encrypting some of the DNS requests, and when they're going out to the standard DNS servers, they're saying, well, we don't understand an encrypted request, so it has to unencrypt it before it sends it out. That would be the most likely thing that's happening.
Yep. So, yeah, kind of my thoughts here. I would say that's an iOS 14 update, something that was probably already happening before, but now they're just kind of notifying you of this. So, Dan, I wouldn't say there's anything to worry about, but, you know, if maybe there is like a performance hit or some kind of issue, please drop another comment, and we'll help you out there. All right. 8 Mile 4S, or 4s. I have my extra 1000. Well, unfortunately, I have 2. Doesn't sound like a bad thing, but thank you for going ahead and checking out the extra 1000.
1000.
Your favorite question, number 2, Ben. When is 3.0 coming out, per Corey Peterson?
You should have been here a month ago when we had a live event that we told you when the 3.0 beta was going to open up for 500 users, and that was that day. So it is currently available for XR 500 and XR 450 users as a beta format. It's probably going to get stitched up in the next couple of weeks as to be a stable and pushed out to everybody. But if you want to get it, Christine can drop that forum link into the chat, and you can go there. But yeah, that's one of the reasons why you should hit that bell down below, is so that you can get notified when we make these announcements. I get questions on social media, when is 3.0 coming out? And I was like, especially somebody that's like, oh, I'm a huge fan of Doom OS and the Nighthawk, but when's 3.0? It's like, if you're a huge fan, you would have been there at the event.
Man, we got
put the hammer down, but come on, guys, that's these events. That's what we do these events for, and your attendance helps make all these events happen. So
maybe we should cook up more events.
Bell.
Yeah, hit that bell. I did see a comment coming in. I need to scroll down a little bit more. Let me go ahead and check that settings. I think because there was this new thing that was on YouTube. I don't have to go too much into it.
It's a kid
yeah, it was like this new rating thing. Every time you got to upload a video, there's like this toggle. So let me go ahead and fix that toggle for you, and then I assure you, right after I just go ahead and take a look at that, which should be turned off, it should let you do it. So thank you for notifying me. Honestly, like, you guys are helping me in terms of managing, kind of running this channel. Y'all are a community. We need to come up with a name for like our regulars, and instead of saying regulars, we got to come up with like a fun name for you guys. You guys should drop whatever we want. What do you guys
want us to call you? As long as it is friendly. So you know what happens when you have the internet name things.
Yeah,
we all know that.
Well, we'll vet
several ferry shipping groups. They know what what that's like. So, but
I'm interested. I'm gonna throw us into the deep end. We'll take a look. Instead of regulars, what do you want to be called?
Beta, will it carry over when it comes out? You'll have the beta right now. We are updating it on almost a weekly basis. So if you get the beta, you'll get the features that are in Duma 3.0, which are pretty darn amazing. I would say that I would upgrade it again when it becomes stable.
Mm-hmm.
So when we have the certified stable version of it, so you'll want to move over to that.
All right, blending with Henry. Hey guys, I'm a virgin with networking. I bought an Orbi RBK 852 and the CM2000. CM2000 newly launched, so awesome choice right there. So I'm confused about the advertised router speeds. If the WAN port accepts 2.5G, how can the 5 gigahertz be 2.4 gigabits per second? Michael Darren, I'm gonna toss this one to you guys.
Well, actually, that's fairly straightforward. The WAN speed there is, your wired connection directly to the internet, and it's saying it can connect up to a ISP connection that'll go up to 2.5 gigabits per second. The wireless, since it's the wireless chips, which really don't have anything to do with the wired side of the router, is going to have its own maximum speed. And with this, the chip that they've got up to this point will maximize out at 2.4 gigabits per second, which is close enough to 2.5. And you have to remember that your internet connection is serving everything on your network, not just your 5 gigahertz channel. So whatever's coming through on that 2.5 gigabit WAN port is going to be split out. So things that are on your 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi is going to be using it, 2.4, any wired devices. So the chances of you having just one device on your 2.5, on your 5 gigahertz band that's maximizing your WAN port is almost zero. So 2.4 gigabits a second on your 5 gigahertz right now is easily going to get you the maximum speeds that you would expect. But it's really hardware side for wired, wireless, and this is the maximum wireless chip that they have in there. But as far as your speeds, and in fact, you probably don't even have the 2.5 gigabit ISP plan. But if you did, that would be the maximum you get across your whole network, not just the 5 gigahertz.
Gotcha.
And also environment. Environment will affect your wireless speeds as well. So you're not always going to get the maximum that it says it's rated for.
Yeah, the proximity to microwaves, to aquariums,
cement walls,
cement
Yes.
walls, Faraday cages,
airports.
airports.
Yep.
All of that stuff affects it.
Yep. And again, this is all stuff that I've learned honestly in the last few months. So yeah, I mean, just to add a little bit more context into those theoretical speeds, those are in a lab environment, so super sterile, super like I don't know if you. I remember there's like, I've seen like Apple's lab before, and it's like crazy how it's like this huge room with like a bunch of styrofoam looking things everywhere.
Well, we actually have one of those at NETGEAR.
Oh, that's right. We do.
Yes, we actually have the isolation box that is the size of like a container truck. And inside, once you've stepped in there and you've closed the door, no wireless signal will go in or out of that box. And within there, in the isolation chamber, you can hit maximum theoretical speeds. But once you get out of there, there's no way you're going to hit the maximum theoretical speeds because there's just too much wireless noise in an environment, no matter where you're at.
Wow. So yeah, see, that's crazy. Man, back in the day when we could do office tours.
Yep, it's creepy in the box though when they close that door because you just feel locked in there, and you have all these little styrofoam spikes that are coming off of the inside of the walls as well that are absorbing it, so you don't get signals bouncing all around.
That's insane. Hopefully they didn't put you in there for too long, Michael.
It affects you mentally.
For you. Oh man. If you want to come to the office when things are opening back up, hopefully, let us know if that's something you want to see.
Yep.
Yeah.
Our facilities folks would love to know if that's something of interest. All right. Let's go on. So, Hamad is. Let me make sure I got this question right. Hamad, thank you for coming back here. Is it a good idea? Hello. Is it a good idea for any better uses? I want to make sure you get your question in.
Not sure. You'll need to put a little bit more in that question.
Yeah.
So
drop a follow-up.
We'll follow up.
All right, and then I'm going to start going through this a little bit fast. Again, we're getting to that halfway point. This is why it's so important to come here early, drop in your question in, pretty much right when we start, and we go through it chronologically. So I'm seeing all the comments even coming in. By the way, people like the word net gang.
Net gang.
Net gang. That's not bad.
That's actually
likes
not
and
bad.
thumbs up.
Yeah.
I looked
I need
up
those.
what a group of hawks is. It's a boil or a kettle.
A kettle?
A kettle?
A kettle.
Where do they come up with these names?
And
I don't know.
Hawks in a kettle anyway.
And who would put a kettle full? I've got a bunch of hawks here. I put them in the big bowl.
Yeah.
You got a kettle full of hawks. Let me write that one down. That's a good one.
Let's start getting all these down here. Let's get all these down.
Okay.
Here. All right.
Yeah.
So, okay, 8 Mile, which I saw another comment. You love the word 8 Mile. I think this is a question for Shady Joker or so, but which one, X6 or X7? I think that's a gateway question. I'm gonna make sure we get that one. But yeah, again, everyone who we're kind of getting stumped on these questions, like add more context, and then we're gonna get to them as soon as we can. So I'm actually just gonna go ahead to Roto-Router 8 Mile. If you need more context on the X6 versus X7 question, I'm not sure if you're asking Shady Joker this one. Just let us know. But Roto-Router loves the new format, so they got an RX200 with NETGEAR Armor, runs a vulnerability scan at 11:30 a.m. and kicks users off our local NAS. Can I change the schedule or any other ideas? What do you guys think on this one?
Is that something that in the Nighthawk app that you can change? No, you could. I thought you could change it.
I'm actually curious that it does. Armor would kick you off to local NAS.
Yeah, that's kind of strange. That they would do that.
Yeah, it shouldn't kick you off there if it's just doing a vulnerability scan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is super odd. Yeah, I wonder if there's anything in the community or anything that's ever been mentioned here before.
Yeah, I was just doing a quick check to see if there was anyone else mentioning it, and I didn't see anything listed here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I tried to look up scheduling in our KBs and stuff, I didn't find anything. But I think that you'd be able to schedule when something scans. So I wouldn't see why not.
Yeah, you definitely, there should be somewhere in the app where you can actually change when you want it to do the scanning. And especially if it's going off at 11 in the morning, that's an odd time. Normally you want to do scans like that late at night.
Yep. Yeah, I could go ahead and look at it on my side. Do we think that there's a way to schedule your vulnerability?
You should be able to.
Yeah, I would think so too. I think we got all four of us looking this up.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything at the moment. Wow, that's a great question, especially, man, out the gate with new to the show and a great question.
Yep. We usually don't get stumped here. Knock on wood. I almost invite you guys to stump us because I think
I almost think that like this one because there is a lot of questions. If Roto, if you could write us with the hashtag stay connected, we'll follow up on this because I do think that this would help a lot of people.
Yeah.
I have armor as well. I don't know when it does the scan, but I also has a NAS. So finding out that it dropped people off of the NAS is something that's very interesting. It could help a lot of other people.
Yeah. We definitely want to troubleshoot this and get it up to engineering.
Perfect. Rotorider, so you could please write to us at netgearteam@netgear.com and use the word hashtag stay connected in the subject line. And that's going to let us know that you're coming here from the show. I do agree that this is something that our engineers would love to know if this is one-off or systemic in any way. Christine, she's our girl up in the virtual control room. She could hand you off that email, Just saw the comments come in, and we would appreciate that.
And it's posted in the chat, so look at the bottom. But yeah, you may have discovered something that could be something that we want to definitely take a look at. So, so I appreciate it. That's how we make these things better. Is not only we can catch a lot of things, but there are a lot of edge cases and weird, networks are absolutely set up completely different from one to another.
Yep.
And this is how we catch those issues. So
Net gang,
congratulations.
Coming in hot. All right. Oh man, it's going to stick if we keep saying that. All right.
Net gang. I'm okay with net gang.
I'm okay with that. I think it's fine.
Let's do it.
Let's keep it. All right. Shady Joker, can I use a splitter from the modem to the two routers? I think it's a follow-up question.
Yeah. Normally the answer is no. Because on most modems with the single LAN port that's connecting up to your router, it is basically bonding itself to the MAC address of that router, which is the reason why when you go and you swap out your router and you put another one in and you haven't rebooted your modem, it often won't hand out an IP address to the router. So in most cases, no, it wants a one-to-one connection there. And if you put a switch in there, it's probably going to give an IP address to the first one and then just disregard the second one.
Okay.
But you can buy modems that have multiple LAN ports, in which case it's got its own DHCP server in there that will hand out IP addresses to any devices that are plugged into the multiple LAN ports.
And just to kind of back that one up, so Shady Joker, I do think that you mentioned you are using Comcast modems, so I think what you've done so far is I think you set it to bridge mode, and you got your Extra 700 hooked up there, which is fine, and it's going to work great. But if you do want to do a couple of these things, like separate your home and your work network, which is again a use case that we keep hearing a little bit more and more often today, we would recommend you move away from Comcast modem and use either one of our modems. Highly recommend use one of our modems, and we could give you a little bit more of that control. And I'm not sure if there's something that we sell that does have two WAN ports.
Yeah, we subnet have modems that have multiple LAN ports on them, and but they would still end up on the same subnet. So what you really need to do is you need to be able to create VLANs.
Yeah.
And you can either do that in a much higher end gateway than what you'd want to buy for the home, or you can do that in a lot of the routers that we have where you can actually set up VLANs to specific ports on it. Or you can buy our gaming switch
Yep.
which is cheaper than the business level switches, and that allows you to set VLANs as well. And so you can set up, 1 to 4 ports on one of your LAN segments, and then the other ports on your other LAN segment, and that'll separate the two business and personal.
Is that the SX10 you're talking about, Michael?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Yep.
So I'm gonna just float this one up here real quick. So yeah,
And
using a managed switch.
I'll even show it.
Oh,
It
perfect.
is right there. That's the SX10.
Boom.
Yes, there's cabling on it, but there it is.
Boom. Awesome. You get to see it in the flesh, and then here, oops, there's a 10% off. If you visit our website, you get 10% off. But here's a bigger image. Yeah, I would say a managed switch solution. If you're looking for setting up VLANs, that's probably your easiest way to go about it. Yeah. Oh, here I am. Oh my God, that's an old picture. Yeah, you could set up VLANs pretty easily. So go ahead. I highly recommend checking that out. But again, this is going to take a little bit more. It's to that next step. I know you're pretty set with Doom OS, but if you want even the added layer of, let's say, of control, managed switch added to your setup, it's going to do wonders. All right. Kendall, I know there are services out there to have your router/internet optimized for the best performance, but how different are these types of services versus out-of-the-box router settings?
And are they recommended? Is this for like Doom OS? Because I know that there's a little cottage industry of guys that do setups. There are some really great people that do this, and you could probably, if you check out our Twitter, you could probably see a couple of them. They talk to us quite a bit. Are they recommended? Yeah, they're pretty strong with a good understanding of Doom OS. I know one in particular has been optimizing for most of the Dallas Empire team for Call of Duty and a bunch of streamers and content guys. And he knows his stuff. I've chit-chatted with him several times. So you just gotta do a little bit of research. But yeah, there are people that will get your network up to snuff, especially with the settings on Doom OS. There's so many things that you can do with it. It's easy to sometimes get lost and not get the best settings, and then think that it's the router that's malfunctioning while it's more of how you had it set. And there's a couple of people out there that will give you sort of that white glove sort of treatment and just make it sing. So
yeah, and just to kind of speak to that, just again, super high level, and we'll go through this kind of quick because we're going to start running out of time here. We do have services like NETGEAR Armor. We have some of our products have Circle, Smart Parental Controls, and really with the Nighthawk app, which is available either on iOS or Android, like we highly recommend you taking a look rather than just like, I know there's like folks out there that said and forget it, but just for security and just kind of have a little bit more insight into your network, we would actually recommend that you check out the settings and just kind of make sure things are, making sure your firmware is up to date. Yeah, like our products are hands off to an extent, especially with products like Orbi, but we do have a lot of our tinkerers, and we want to make sure that you do have the capabilities to fiddle where you can and fiddle where you want. So highly recommend, even if like maybe it's something a little bit new, it all kind of goes full circle. We made it easy for you to kind of understand the management setting side of your router, and it makes it easier through the app. So highly recommend checking that out. All right. I'm gonna skip down a little bit more, just
Blending
because.
with Henry just had a follow-up and really quick.
Yep.
How is it possible that the wireless speeds are faster than the WAN speed? That's because it's not restricted by the physical connection, and that connection speed of 4,800 millibits per second is back and forth communication between whatever your device is and the router. It's not your connection to the internet, but your faster connections to the router do translate into faster connections to the internet. Because your router's communicating more effectively to your device and then getting that information out. But it is possible for your router to have faster speeds wireless than it actually has on its port. Correct, Michael?
Yep. And also, one advantage of that is you have to remember that there's sort of two areas that you're going to be wanting your connection. One's out to the internet, but the other one is to your other devices on your local network. And so if you have a couple of wireless devices that are on your high-speed wireless connection, your router, they'll be using that high-speed wireless connection to pass data back and forth, even though that might be slower than what your internet connection is. So within your local LAN, you would be getting the much faster speed than what your internet connection is if it's slower than what your wireless connection is. So there is
Awesome.
benefits to it.
Awesome. I did not know the answers to that, so thank you guys for stepping in. Appreciate that. All right, I'm gonna keep going. Steel Pastor, I know we answered a little bit on the benefits of separated SSIDs, and yes, there is traffic management per separated SSID, just to make sure that your admin network, your guest network, your employee network, etc., are all in check. But just wanted to float this one up. If you have easy access for wired backhaul, Michael, I hope that you can kind of help me out a little bit with this one. But there are going to be a lot of significant benefits where instead of a wireless hop, you do get that direct kind of wired connection. So
Right.
it'll act a little bit more like an access point versus hopping where you may get a little
You're
bit of that
removing one of
degradation.
the hops out of the entire equation, which you
Yeah.
always want to do. The least amount of hops that you have between you and your router is, what you want. So you've removed that hop. It's a wired connection, so you never have to worry about interference. You never have to worry that something is slowing down that connection during that time.
Mhm.
All of our products that use the wireless backhaul of the Orbi, for instance, do a great job at it. But you can never guarantee that you're not going to have some sort of interference at some times. So with the wired connection, it's as if you were literally at the router when you're connecting up to the wireless access point at this point, because you've created a wired backhaul. So it just removes that extra section. So you'll be a little bit faster. You don't have to worry about interference.
Perfect. Awesome. Thank you for that backup, Michael. Appreciate that. All right, Lala. I have a CM.
And
go ahead.
Othman also answered it. Cement walls.
Cement.
That's another reason to use wired, is when you have to go from point A to point B and there's some ugly obstruction in between.
Mhm.
Concrete walls, metal walls, anything like that.
Yeah.
Trust me, I live in a concrete wall apartment, so yes,
In a
the
bunker.
wired backhaul is awesome.
Yeah, if you can, just hook that up, and it should be pretty plug and play, I believe.
Oh yeah,
Um,
as far as that, it should automatically configure itself for that.
Awesome. All right, cool. All right, Lala, you are next. I have a CM1000 modem. Will getting a newer model modem help lower my ping? What do you guys think?
I think the CM1000 is a great modem.
Yeah.
In fact,
Mhm.
I just upgraded to the CM1000. So, will it help you lower your ping? A newer model? I'm not 100% sure that it will. I mean, the CM1000 grabs pretty great for cable modem. I'm seeing lower rates since I upgraded from the 600. Yeah, Michael, what do you think?
Yeah.
I don't think.
You're probably not going to see a big difference in your ping rates going beyond that,
Mhm.
unless your bandwidth is being constrained at all. But going between like the CM1000 and the CM1200, which is a DOCSIS 3.1 instead of a DOCSIS 3.0, which gives you a little bit more bandwidth and more bands that they're actually using to transmit information. But the ping rate itself, unless you're being constrained, your ping rate's probably going to be the same, because it basically is just between you and whatever server you're pinging against.
Yep. And the CM1000 is 3.1, isn't it?
No, that's 3.0. That's the cutoff line, and everything above that's 3.1.
Awesome. So yeah, I mean, really, we're out here just kind of answer your questions and give you the best information possible. I mean, we're not going to just tell you, hey, go ahead and buy the latest and greatest, because you need to. We will love to hear about your situation and really just kind of give you guys the facts. So yeah, I would agree. CM1000 is already relatively new. It should do everything you need it, but if you want to lower your ping, I would even say, stuff like the traffic management, things like QoS, things like a little bit more on the router management side. That's where you would actually lower your ping. So your modem is kind of a little bit outside of that equation.
Yeah.
All right. Let me keep going here. We're going down almost to our last 10 minutes here.
Yeah.
8 Mile. I'm trying to figure out the best router settings for 3.0 for Call of Duty to reduce ping. And always use the best server. I've been filtering, but it doesn't automatically connect to the best server. Ben, what do you got?
here's the deal. Here's what I got. So we will be doing another Doom OS talk coming up. Angelo and I have to schedule that out. But we'll probably bring in a couple of guests as well. And probably with the guests that I'm thinking of bringing in, I think we're probably going to concentrate on Call of Duty Modern Warfare because he's a big Call of Duty Modern Warfare player. And we'll walk you through on all the settings. So I think that's going to be the topic because a lot of people, Call of Duty still super huge. Cold War's coming up, but Modern Warfare is still getting a lot of traffic. So yeah, we'll talk about Call of Duty and 3.0. It's coming up soon. So just stay tuned. Hit that bell. And you will be able to know when that's coming.
Yep. And I did see Vanessa Kitty. Thank you for coming back. We missed you. She says hit that like, and I agree. If you guys do enjoy the show, please hit it because the more people that we could say, hey, YouTube's gonna know. People are liking the show. People are throwing comments in there. We're gonna be able to get this to more eyes and hopefully get more of you guys in the chat. Get more Net Gang members. Maybe we gotta be careful with that one. Get more of y'all here in the chat because hopefully we find this you guys find this helpful and we can keep the show going.
So we're into the last 10 minutes, so we're gonna keep
rapid firing this. All right, so we got Steel Pastor, Isaac Tower. This one kind of goes hand in hand. Orbi Pro Wi-Fi 6. I always want to make sure I have priority for live streaming. But this kind of goes hand in hand with Isaac's question. What are the benefits of Wi-Fi 6? Okay. Let's say with Orbi Pro Wi-Fi 6, you always want to have priority for live streaming. One, Wi-Fi 6 will help you in terms of it's going to allow for that increased capacity. That is really what Wi-Fi 6 is the next move to.
Increased capacity, 40% increased speed and communication between your device. That is a Wi-Fi 6 device and your Wi-Fi 6 router. It's going to be the more capacity that's going to help you, which is going to reduce congestion, which is going to make your live stream better.
Yes. Yep. So if you have let's say a Wi-Fi 6 laptop and you're streaming from there, it's going to be a lot faster than if you're, let's say, even on Wi-Fi 5, you're just going to have, imagine you have a whole uncongested freeway instead of a 2-lane highway during rush hour, right?
Yeah.
That uncongested freeway, that's going to be Wi-Fi 6, that 2-lane highway, a little bit more of a legacy network, that's kind of more of your Wi-Fi 5. And Isaac Tower, hopefully that did answer, it is a lot of increasing connection capacity, reducing that congestion, especially with a lot of IoT devices out there. It's just going to be a lot easier to talk to all these devices at once and give the best speeds to all these client devices. And you do get some battery saving benefits. I believe netgear.com/Wi-Fi 6. I could float that up really quick, or Christine, we could throw that in the chat, but we do have a landing page that'll pretty much show you everything about Wi-Fi 6. But we're going to keep on going down here. Steel Pastor, we answered your question about wired backhaul. I'm actually going to keep on going down here. I think we could catch up pretty quick. Blending with Henry. Do you guys know... we can't comment on this one too much, but do you guys know why there's no circle parental controls on Orbi Wi-Fi 6 with the RBK... or RBK... Actually, yeah, RBK 852. And why no 160 megahertz? Michael, do you want to answer this tough one?
Well, the first one is simple, that we haven't gotten to it yet. Circle, we've been putting out a lot of our routers, and it takes a while to get it set up for our newer routers. So it'll take a while for us to actually roll it out on more platforms. But even over the last few months, we've been rolling it out on a lot of new platforms. So it'll just take a while on that. As to why not having the 160 megahertz, that I don't know. I haven't seen any reason why they didn't put it on there.
All right. All right, just kind of go down a little bit more. Dan K, I think this is at Michael. Let's see. Did purchase the router modem from NETGEAR. Didn't see much of a difference, unfortunately, other than PS4 getting full speeds to my DSL connection, which is good. PS4 has...
It depends on what router you used. I don't know if you used any of the Nighthawk Pro Gaming routers with your PS4, but it would definitely have an effect on your ping.
Yep. Let us know if you do have access to Doom OS, and we will help you with your settings there. All right, I got to keep on going down just to make sure that we get all these questions coming in. I see them coming in a little bit more recently here. Okay, Sean Woods, believe also a new name. I was looking at small business switches and was looking for any recommendations on an affordable L3/10G/PoE switch. Small business question. This is good.
Yeah.
Whew. Michael Darian. I'm looking to you guys again.
Well, what I would recommend is actually going out to the NETGEAR site, onto their business switches, and you can choose between the smart switches, the managed switches, and then they actually have ways that you can compare each one of them, and that'll tell you the prices, also the features, and find one that matches up with what you want. I don't know the actual pricing on a lot of them, but that's the best place to go because we have a good configurator there for you to pick between all the switches we have.
Perfect. And yeah, and the configurator, go ahead and check out everything on the NETGEAR website. We got a couple configurators also for Orbi, and I believe we got a comment coming in. I think it was a little bit later in the chat, but yes, we do have the selectors to help you choose the right product for you.
Yep.
Awesome. All right. Corey, well, if I get the beta, will it just carry over when it comes out? This is Doom OS 3.0. Ben, what do you got?
You would want to, when the stable official version, you'll want to upgrade to that.
Perfect.
Ben, will it automatically upgrade? I think we might have it as a push out, but I'm not sure at this moment. Okay. Usually the firmwares for the XR series are push outs, so it should automatically. But yeah, just make sure that you do upgrade.
Cool. All right, Dan K. Have you guys ever heard of REIN, which affects Wi-Fi or Ethernet connections? I haven't. Have you guys?
I hadn't, except that Dan K put another note in there from the Wikipedia that it's repetitive electronic impulse noise applied to DSL internet connections. And if it's applied just to the DSL internet connections, then that is most likely noise on the line itself and not noise that's going out and affecting the wireless portion of your connection. So it's probably happening before it even gets out to the wireless.
Gotcha. Yeah, I know. I wish I could get everyone out of DSL. It's kind of crazy. But
unfortunately, especially in Europe, it's hard because so many of those buildings aren't designed for cable connections. So DSL connections are the only way they can go.
Of course. Yeah.
Just to answer Shady Joker, I'm excited for the Series X. I went to pre-order it. I missed the pre-order.
Ooh.
Ouch.
So I'm going to have to get into the trenches when it is available.
I got my pre-order.
Woo!
Yeah.
I'm waiting for the games. To come out, so I haven't pre-ordered anything. I would, when Gran Turismo comes out, I'll probably do the PS5. Sorry. Because all the Xbox games are coming to PC, and I'm just going to get them on PC. So, sorry. That's my answer.
Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah, sorry, not sorry.
Answer. Okay, we've got 2 minutes.
Got 2 minutes. Okay. All right. I think we're going to catch up pretty quick. Paul just purchased Orbi. Why is there only one SSID, and how does it determine if it connects to 2.4 or 5?
Yep, and actually the second part of your question answers the first part of it, where Orbi actually does decide when a device is trying to connect, which band is better for it in its current location, 2.4 or 5. If it's closer, it's probably going to flip over to the 5. If it's farther away, it's going to go with the 2.4. And that's why there's only one SSID, is you don't have to decide. It's the brains behind it. And so it's basically connect and forget, and it'll take care of which one you need to be connected to.
Awesome. Cool. That was a really good explanation of that. Thank you. And Adrian, I see you in the chat here. You're first on the way. Yeah, thank you for helping everyone else out here in the chat. The Net Gang appreciates it. All right, and Vanessa Kitty also as well, shout out. I know you've been very interested in the mural since the live event. Please keep us posted. If you follow us on Twitter or Instagram, we would actually love to see it. So if you tag us either in the hashtag or you send us a DM, we'll shout you out here on the show, but we might get some extra love here on social. We would love to see how that's going for you. Awesome. All right. Rick Long, welcome back to the show. I think we're almost getting caught up. Othman, does NAT type open open NAT type, unsecure. Did I ask that right?
Yes, no, it's not unsecure, but it's not as secure as the not opened, but it is still, you still have a secure connection going through. And when you don't have open NAT, especially for a lot of gaming rigs, they start having problems trying to talk to the gaming servers.
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. And I think this is actually going to be the last question here. We just hit 1 o'clock. Vanessa Kitty, should I buy the Xbox or the PlayStation 5?
Xbox.
Xbox.
PlayStation.
Xbox.
I have one more real quick follow up. Rick Long, he said, "Sorry, late to the party. Looking forward for some information on 3.0." If you look in the chat, there's a link to the beta that's for the 500 and the 450. That is currently getting close to getting to be the official. XR700 will be starting its beta in a matter of weeks. So we're getting really close to something that we want to push out soon. So I'm just going to kind of scan. Anybody that has an XR1000 question, thanks for buying it. But hit us up on the Twitter.
The Twitter.
And, the beta should not be used for the 450, just 500.
Yep.
Awesome.
We'll be working on the 450 soon as well. And that's it as far as MPG.
Cool. Great.
Excellent.
Thank you, Ben, for getting all that information out. We'll start working on that next live event. If this is something you guys want to see, again, we would love to see these comments because the word spreads pretty quick. Everyone here at the company really kind of actually knows about the community that we're building here. So Net Gang, you guys are being heard. The word is being spread. We love and to see you guys every single week here. So just to kind of wrap things up, this is Tech Support Live. This is it's now an hour-long show, so that's why I highly encourage you guys to come in here early. We're going to go chronologically down just to make sure that you got your questions in on time, but hopefully we did not miss anything. And I think we were able to catch up by the very end.
If we can get a couple extra likes, if we can get that up to 25 before...
got more shirts
before we sign off. That would be
Right.
amazing.
I got the bag of shirts in the garage.
Yeah,
all right.
we'll bring back the bag of shirts.
I know. Let's go get
21. Yes, thank you.
All right. So
All right.
everyone who won that shirt, keep a lookout for your mailbox either this week or next week at the latest. They are on the way. We have a virtual event coming up next Tuesday, 12 o'clock to 1 p.m. Pacific time on the same NETGEAR YouTube channel. We're going to be talking about mobile. I know a lot of people have been asking about M5. We got LBR20. We got updates really across the board. Yep. So take a look. We'll be answering all your questions there about mobile. But besides that, we'll be back next Friday for another hour-long show, and we love to see you guys then. Thank you all. We'll see you guys next time.
See everyone later.
Yeah.
Bye.
See you later.